Hare Krishna.
We're sitting in a graveyard. There's look behind us. All around us, actually. We're in a graveyard. It's not right.
Well, I think it's a graveyard from like the 1100s or something like that.
Yeah, but that's even worse.
It's in the middle of a park. Anyway, if anyone here gets disturbed, and this is beneficial for these people, all the people in their graves, and if we chant Hare Krishna. So
yeah, at least this way, if something comes out from behind me, I'm going to see it in front of me.
So we're reading from the Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes, Canto 3, Chapter 9, Text 24.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 24. The Lord's potencies are innumerable. As he lies down in the water of devastation, I am born as the total universal energy from the navel lake in which the lotus sprouts. I am now engaged in manifesting his diverse energies in the form of the cosmic manifestation. I therefore pray that in the course of my material activities I may not be deviated from the vibration of the Vedic hymns. Purport. Every person engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord in this material world is prone to so many material activities, and if one is not strong enough to protect himself against the onslaught of material affection, he may be diverted from the spiritual energy. In the material creation, Brahma has to create all kinds of living entities with bodies suitable to their material conditions. Brahma wants to be protected by the Lord because he has to contact many vicious living entities. An ordinary Brahmana may fall from the Brahma Tejas, or the power of Brahminical excellence, due to his association with many fallen conditioned souls. Brahma, as the supermost Brahmana, is afraid of such a fall down, and therefore he prays to the Lord for protection. This is a warning for one and all in the spiritual advancement of life. Unless one is sufficiently protected by the Lord, he may fall down from his spiritual position. Therefore, one has to pray constantly to the Lord for protection and the blessing to carry out one's duty. Lord Chaitanya also entrusted his missionary work to his devotees and assured them of his protection against the onslaught of material affection. The path of spiritual life is stated in the Vedas to be like the edge of a sharpened razor. A little inattentiveness may at once create havoc and bloodshed. But one who is a completely surrendered soul, always seeking protection from the Lord in the discharge of his entrusted duties, has no fear of falling into material contamination.
Interesting purport. Any thoughts? Revelations?
Yes, powerful. Do you want to move the camera? Yeah, okay. So there's just someone going by.
So
living,
it seems. So we think.
God.
So
it's powerful purport.
Yeah. What's your realization?
It's very nice purport. I can really pull it apart.
No.
Powerful spiritual. No, but I ain't got time anyway. I meant word by word. The powerful spiritual life is like the edge of a raisined.
Raisins.
Oh, sharpened razor. A little inattentiveness can create havoc and bloodshed. Wow. It's so true though, like what we were saying that when we were reading yesterday. And like Lord Brahma, he was praying even in the previous verse, they didn't want to, it says here, give up. He wants to give up the false prestige of being the creator, because it starts off all fresh and sincere and humble, but like it says, it's a razor's edge, so all it takes is a little bit of taking credit, or this is for me, or just a little bit, put yourself in the center, and the rot can come in. It doesn't take much, it doesn't need much for that illusion to come in. Illusion can come in like a little pinhead, as it were, the veil of illusion will come in so small, but it will spread so big. So it's always important to stay humble and grounded in appreciation for our spiritual masters and our, senior devotees and authorities, and just, I'm not here because of me alone. Like that, that's what I took from it, and just be really, like they say, even you can become a proud pauper,
Well, I think the saying is a pauper is proud of his penny.
All right, I'll say some. I'll make something else.
Yeah, and it can happen to anyone. We see here that Lord Brahma is worried about it happening to him, and he does. We know from second canto of the Bhagavatam that he did have challenges and problems during the creation, and later on he actually goes through. He has a whole challenge with the fact he mistakes Krishna to be an ordinary cowherd boy, and he steals the cows and calves. He chased after his own daughter, desiring to enjoy with her, and he doesn't get bewildered very easily, but even Lord Brahma gets bewildered, so what to speak of us. But what is the solution? Prabhupada says, therefore one has to pray constantly to the Lord for protection and blessings to carry out one's duty. So that means, as you were saying, one has to take a humble position and accept that I need help and only the Lord can protect me, and I need to take shelter of the Lord. And then by taking shelter of the Lord, we place ourselves under the protection or shelter of the spiritual energy. Om Agyan Timidandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuno Militangena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual masters opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So therefore we place ourselves under the shelter of the spiritual master, under the shelter of Krishna. That spiritual energy should help us. Should. 925. The Lord, who is supreme and is the oldest of all, is unlimitedly merciful. I wish that he may smilingly bestow his benediction upon me by opening his lotus eyes. He can uplift the entire cosmic creation and remove our dejection by kindly speaking his directions. Remove our dejection by kindly speaking his direction. Poetic. Purport. The Lord is ever increasingly merciful upon the fallen souls of this material world. The whole cosmic manifestation is a chance for all to improve themselves in devotional service to the Lord, and everyone is meant for that purpose. The Lord expands himself into many personalities who are either self-expansions or separated expansions. The personalities of the individual souls are his separated expansions, whereas the self-expansions are the Lord himself. So basically, everything's emanating from the Lord. So there are many personalities who are either self-expansions or separated expansions. So we're separated expansions. And then the Lord's incarnations in different avatars, they're self-expansions. Like that. The self-expansions are predominators, and the separated expansions are predominated. For reciprocation of transcendental bliss with the supreme form of bliss and knowledge, the liberated souls can join in this blissful reciprocation of predominator and predominated without materially concocted ideas. Let's read that sentence again. The liberated souls can join in this blissful reciprocation of predominator and predominated without materially concocted ideas. The typical example of such a transcendental exchange between the predominator and the predominated is the Lord's Rasa Leela with the gopis. The gopis are predominated expansions of the internal potency, and therefore the Lord's participation in the Rasa Leela dance is never to be considered like the mundane relationship of man and woman. It is, rather, the highest perfectional stage of the exchange of feelings between the Lord and the living entities. The Lord gives the fallen souls the chance for this highest perfection of life. Lord Brahma is entrusted with the management of the complete cosmic show. The complete cosmic show. Not the Cosby Show, but the cosmic show. And therefore he prays that the Lord bestow his blessings upon him so that he may execute its purpose. So Lord Brahma is like the ringleader, is it three ringleader, or what's it called? In the circus? I think that's where the term ringleader.
Circus leader.
Circus leader, yeah. I think because there's rings and different rings.
Yeah,
Ringleader.
he's what is it? Orchestrating the.
And in ring number 2.
Okay, text 26. The sage Maitreya said, O Vidura, after observing the source of his appearance, namely the personality of Godhead, Brahma prayed for his mercy as far as his mind and words would permit him. Thus having prayed, he became silent, as if tired from his activities of penance, knowledge, and mental concentration. Purport. Brahma's enlightenment in knowledge was due to the Lord sitting within his heart. After being created, Brahma could not ascertain the source of his appearance, but after penance and mental concentration, he could see the source of his birth, and thus he became enlightened through his heart. The spiritual master outside and the spiritual master within are both representations of the Lord. Unless one has contact with such bona fide representations, one cannot claim to be a spiritual master. Lord Brahma had no opportunity to take the help of a spiritual master from outside, because at that time Brahma himself was the only creature in the universe. Therefore, on becoming satisfied by the praise of Brahma, the Lord enlightened him about everything from within.
So this is an interesting point on the topic of Guru Tattva, which we discussed, I think, in one of your Bhakti visions. So we see here that the super soul, which is the Guru within, and the spiritual master, which is the Guru without, are both representations of the Lord. And Lord Brahma was in a very unique situation because he was born on the lotus flower in the middle of space, where nothing, at the dawn of creation, nothing had been created. And he didn't have a guru to take shelter of. So he went within, and when he went within, then he heard from Krishna from within, which actually the spiritual master, the external spiritual master, is meant to train us in such a way that we're able to hear and begin to connect with Krishna within the heart, to take guidance from Krishna within the heart. But depending on how conditioned we are and how surrendered we are, that could take quite a long time. Many lifetimes. Or it could happen in one lifetime, but even in that one lifetime, it might not be, 10 minutes or 10 days, 10 years, maybe, like that. Any thoughts from your side?
No. Feel enlightened.
Did you read that one?
Now you? Oh.
Who read? Can't believe.
Yeah, I did.
Thought so. Just checking. Okay, text 27 through 28. The Lord saw that Brahma was very anxious about the planning and construction of the different planetary systems, and was depressed upon seeing the devastating water. He could understand the intention of Brahma, and thus he spoke in deep, thoughtful words, removing all the illusion that had arisen. Purport. The devastating water was so fearful that even Brahma was perturbed at its appearance, and became very anxious about how to situate the different planetary systems in outer space to accommodate the different kinds of living entities, such as the human beings, those lower than the human beings, and the superhuman beings. All the planets in the universe are situated according to the different grades of living entities under the influence of the modes of material nature. There are 3 kinds of material nature, and when they are mixed with one another, they become 9. When the 9 are mixed, they become 81, and the 81 also become mixed, and thus we ultimately do not know how the delusion increases and increases. Lord Brahma had to accommodate different places and situations for the requisite bodies of the conditioned souls. The task was meant only for Brahma, and no one in the universe can ever understand how difficult it was. But by the grace of the Lord, Brahma was able to execute the tremendous task so perfectly that everyone is amazed to see the workmanship of Vedanta, the regulator. The workmanship of the Vedanta.
Or the regulator.
So, workmanship of the regulator means of Lord Brahma, huh?
Interesting. Brahma was getting a bit scared of the water.
Well, I mean, you can imagine there probably wasn't much, I guess, light.
And he's sitting on a lotus flower.
Well, he had probably climbed down it at that point. Maybe when he climbed down to look to try to find
the source,
then he came up against the water.
Yeah, and then he climbed back up.
But we were just hearing how the Lord was sleeping on Seshanag, on his snake carrier. There was a term used about how he was sleeping on the
violent waters?
Yeah, the violent waters. So it sounds like the waters are pretty
rough.
Serious stuff. Pretty rough, mate. Yeah, pretty rough.
It's interesting that nowadays people, not just nowadays, but they're like film fantasy and, different characters and this. It would be quite amazing if they won't believe it, that this is fact, if that makes sense. But in one sense it wouldn't even matter, because if they made the film and just heard the pastimes and saw them, there's benefit. I think it would fulfill that need of the conditioned soul for these types of genres, action and this and that, and all sorts of different people with different heads and arms.
Yeah, interesting.
This is a picture that we showed yesterday. That's Brahma.
Yeah, there's Lord Brahma there, and he's looking down. Garbhadaksha.
And there's the violent water.
Yeah, there's the violent waters.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah, it's all violent. Yeah, crazy.
So cool.
Okay, we're gonna go. Thank you very much. We have new copies of the Srimad Bhagavatam sets. They're kind of bigger than this set, but smaller than the deluxe. But they're printed very nicely in Germany, so it's kind of first class. And if you want a set, let us know. We'll have a picture soon that we'll put at the beginning and end of each session.
Right.
Like, it's commercial. You got to sell things these days, and got to advertise in order to keep the program going. Just kidding. Just letting everyone know that they're available.
If you buy 5 of those sets, you'll get a discount for the 6th one.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what they do. They give promotions like that.
5 sets, yeah. Okay. Anyone interested? Hare Krishna. Anyway, thank you all very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.